Right, so it's a bit wild out there. I'm starting to get a wee bit hungry. So we'll get the food going, but we're going to hide in the bivvy, out of the wind, just to get the majority of it started. And then we'll get a fire going out here and we'll finish it on the fire. I've done a wee bit of prep this morning, while things were a bit quiet. Cooked up some swedes, that's a swede from the allotment, yesterday, and the kale. Mixed them in together with some butter, salt, pepper. And that's red, that just needs reheated. That's good to go, so that saves a little bit of time. And then last night, confit the legs. Now these were cooked for about 5 hours last night, low and slow. And again, they just need to be finished on the fire. I think we'll get them over the coals.
Well, I'm hoping I'm not the only one that said to you yesterday, what the hell is confit?
Confit.
So for those that don't know.
Now, I ain't no chef, but confit is a way of preserving meat where you cook it really low, really slow, covered completely in fat. And that fat can be butter, it can be oil, and in this case, goose fat. And then once the fat sort of dries or cools, over the top of it, you can then preserve that for up to a month. I've taken the oil because I've recycled the oil. It was about £8 worth of goose fat, so that's been recycled and put back in the jars. And I've taken the legs out. But yeah, finish them over the coals. And ideally, they're quite cold just now because they're just out the fridge. That should just break off the bone lovely. And we've got 4 of those legs there. The breasts from yesterday's butchery session. Again, they'll just be pan fried later on, nice and quickly. So we're basically having pheasant 2 ways. Confit pheasant and a pan fried breast. On some swede and kale. Again, a wee bit busier earlier on this morning. Got some parmentier potatoes on the go as well, so they can go straight on the coals later on and they'll crisp up a little bit. But they've just been boiled, sautéed in butter and rosemary.
Smell amazing.
They smell good, don't they? Aye, they're great. So we'll get a sauce going. We need a sauce. Sauce probably takes a wee bit longer, so we'll get it should have been a garlic and white wine cream. But someone forgot the white wine. And it wasn't me. So chop up some onions, bit of garlic, get some stock on the go, and we'll give a wee sauce to go over the top of it.
Well, he wanted a fire, and I can tell you, that is toasty. Doesn't look cold, but that's a cold wind. It's blowing right into your face. Hence why the bivvies are the way they are. Alarms turned up loud, just at the back of there. So we need to let this come down to coals for Alex to work his magic. That's like too hot, my waders are melting. To work his magic with this venison. So he's still got some of that sauce to make, so he better get his finger out. I've done my bit. The fire is almost ready to go. But the oak staves, man, they don't have burn hot. Looking forward to this dinner.
So how that fire burns down to a sort of cookable level, it's got a wee bit to go. We'll finish off with this sauce. So yeah, onions, garlic, sautéed off in there. Leave that to the side. And this is where the summer's sort of efforts come in handy in the winter. These are birch billets. The birch billets that we foraged back in August, I think. They've been dried and they're as good as they were back then. And these are oysters, grey oysters, that I picked up a couple of weeks ago, I think, and they've just been dehydrated. So we can rehydrate these in some stock, make a sort of mushroom stock, add the onions and garlic back into it, reduce it down, stick in a bit of cream, and it should be great for the pheasant legs. So the way to rehydrate this is, get this back on. Bit of water in the pan. Now we'll just break these up. Pop them in there. Hence why we're hiding in here. It's getting a bit windy out there. So equal amount, birch billets, oysters, and they're proper dry. You know, they'll last for years. You just break them up and throw them back in.
How did you dry them up?
A dehydrator. We invested in a dehydrator a couple of weeks ago, and it works an absolute treat. The billets, they were just air dried. They dry quite easily. Just left on the rack in a warm place. The oysters were holding a little bit of water, so they needed the dehydrator. But I'm hoping this will work. I can't see why it won't. So it's a mushroom cream sort of sauce we're looking for here.
White wine?
We should have had white wine, but yeah, we'll need to do without it. Right, so that fire's starting to look quite good. Burned down nicely. There's a fair bit of heat coming off it. We don't want it scalding hot because these are just being reheated really. And these are the confit pheasant legs. And we'll just whack these on here to be seared. And then what I think we'll do is we'll add them to the sauce and let them soak up that sauce and that cream. But we'll let them just kind of warm up on there, and then we'll get the breasts on as well. We'll just pan fry them. Smoke's getting in my eyes a little bit. So these mushrooms have rehydrated, but when they rehydrate they swell up quite a bit and they become quite big. Maybe a little bit too big for a sauce. We'll run a knife through it, chop them up a little bit, add it back in with the garlic and the onions. This weather is just making this really, really difficult. Our previous sort of catch and cooks have been lovely scenery and nice calm weather. This one's a bit wild. Okay. The onions and garlic. We'll get it back on the heat. And we're beginning to get there. So I'm going to thicken this up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more stock to it. But that sort of late roux that I'm talking about is basically butter and flour that you would add at the beginning of a sauce if you were to do it French style. I'm definitely not doing it French style. And that way, when we add a little bit of sort of cream or a little bit more stock, it'll be a nice thick consistency, hopefully. I'm just going to stir that in. Forms a kind of paste. But yeah, if you're to do this properly, the butter and the flour would be added at the beginning to make a roux. Now I'm just going to go and turn those pheasant legs. I can smell them burning away there.
Look at that!
So we're getting there. The wind's getting mental, the rods going off everywhere, the winds are knocking the rods off the stands, it's just getting a bit mad. But we're getting here. So I've taken the meat off the legs, and you can see here the tendons that we were talking about the other day. If that was left in the meat, it would be horrible. It would be horrible. So you take it all off the bone, and you're left with this. And then what we'll do is we'll add this back into the sauce, and let it sit and soak in the sauce for a little bit. All we're looking to do is get rid of this yellowy fat. That's not very, very tasty. At this point, you can get rid of the skin if you want to, and we just break it all up, strip it up, flakes up, strips up. And it's fairly tasty. Still a little bit dry. I think it's impossible to stop it drying out because pheasant is a really lean bird. But hopefully sticking it back in the sauce will help with that. Right, so there we go. Pheasant leg meat. We'll take it over, simmer it in the sauce, add some cream, and we're nearly there. So we go, sauce back on, get that leg meat in there. Add a little touch more water to that. And then get the cream in at the last minute. There we go. I need a bit of cream into that. That's the sauce. We'll let that sit. Take that off of there actually. Pop that down here. We've seasoned these breasts. Let's get them on. There we go. Let that sizzle. So we'll need to rest these once they're cooked. That'll give us time to get the mash on, heat up the potatoes, and then finally we can eat. Right, just about to bring this all together, hopefully. But as always, need a little bit of herbage. So a little bit of flat leaf parsley, just about good. It's getting to its end of its season. And we'll go like that in there. Take that off the heat there. So swede, kale mash, pheasant in a creamy mushroom sauce, and hopefully we just stay there. Pan fried pheasant breast,
Or chicken as you were calling it.
chicken breast, right? And I can get this off without burning my fingers.
They smell amazing.
Some Parmentier potatoes, like get them on a plate and get it eaten. That was hard work. A lot of winds, a lot of weather, it's awkward in the bivvy and the rods are going, but we've lunch. Thankfully, we have lunch. Pan fried pheasant, confit pheasant leg, swede and kale mash, and Parmentier rosemary potatoes. We got there in the end. Don't ask me about the plates, they're not mine.
Or mine. So as always, I get the first mouthful when Alex cooks, but it's genuinely having it eyesight doing the cooking, so. Honestly, it smells amazing. I know I say this every time, but
Yeah, there's always going to be a bit of that.
And then just try another bit. Aye. The mushroom I got there I wasn't sure about, but now I remember what they taste like and they're nice. Sorry, but I'm going to use my fingers for a bit of the breast.
A bit of the breast? Bloody hell.
Right, excuse me, I'll go and finish this off.
The rod tips are still bouncing away. But we got our food eventually. Not what we're after, but a nice looking pollock, and we'll use it. I like pollock, however, I find them a little bit soft. The flesh is just a little bit soft. So what you need to do, or what I think you need to do before you cook it, is fillet it and salt it. Salt it for at least an hour. Draws a little bit of the moisture out and it starts to kind of firm up the flesh a wee bit. So we'll get this guy filleted up, get him skinned, get him salted, and then we'll get the rest of this dish organised.
What's it called again?
Frito,
You can't say it without laughing.
Frito misto de pesca. Well, frito misto de pollock, because that's all we've got.
No pressure.
I know, not the best at filleting, but we'll see how this goes. Clean that up in a second.
It's always a bit of a struggle with.
There is a way you can take it all off in one, but
We've not mastered that yet.
nah, not quite. I can do it, but and then the belly fat we don't really want, so that just gets sliced off.
Wish I could do that with mine.
Get that wee wash and we'll get the skin. We'll get the skin off just now.
Hey, I need to see this. This is something I struggle with. So, fair enough, not just keep it on. It's good if you're frying, but to keep the skin on it.
Sometimes I don't really like it. I like it on some fish, like it on bass. It's probably not the best board to use, but
Beautiful.
oh. Give that a clean up, get some salt in it. There we go. Salted, left on a rack. I'll leave that for about, well, we're running out of daylight, so probably about 30 minutes. But we were a wee bit apprehensive as to how this was going to go today. It is the middle of winter, and sea fishing in the middle of winter can be a wee bit tricky. So we did come prepared. We got our pollock eventually, but just in case, we have Gordon's catch from a couple of weeks ago. Now we did mention earlier on that inventive was supposed to be the catch and cook video. We did catch some fish on inventive, not much. If I took these home, cleaned them up a little bit, what we have is Gordon's whiting. The whiting, I think, is probably one of the most underrated fish there is. It's fantastic. It's much firmer than the pollock. It's nice flaky flesh, and it'll work great. And this is a dab. We went after dab today. Little dab that was deep hooked. We would have put it back, but we'll put it to good use. And that was filleted as well. Now ideally what we're looking to do today was to catch a few dab and fillet them, because they're a wee bit finicky to fillet, and I think that puts a lot of people off, but they're fantastic eating fish. They're really good, so it's worth taking the time to get them prepared. So get them on there as well, get those salted, and then we'll make a sauce. I think we'll get the sauce on.
An easy element, look.
Love it. Fish and food, and then we'll get a bit of salt in there. Oh, that's that salt.
What did we forget? But
What did we forget? Probably something. What did we forget?
a beer.
Beer. That would be nice. There we go. So that's our fish, salted. Let's get a sauce on the go. You can cut there.
Oh, I've got a question to ask you.
All right.
You got a lighter?
I have matches. Yes. Do you have a lighter?
In the car.
Right. Let's get the sauce ingredients sliced and diced, and we'll get them on. So while Gordon got the fire started, I got the sauce ingredients set up. So we've got some thinly chopped red onion from the allotment, of course, some chopped garlic, some capers, some chilli, some parsley, and we'll whack it all together with a bit of butter, and it'll be fantastic. I hope. Never made it before. It might be.
Huh?
Never made this. Not made this once.
He tells me.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
And some fine Scottish oak for the fire. All going to plan?
So far. There you go. Sauce done. Well, partly done. We'll let it cool down, and then we'll heat it up later on when we need it. But yeah, just a drizzle over the fish, and it'll be tasty. So just chunking the fish up into sort of goujon sized pieces. Look at that small pot. So unless they fit in there. And then you'll rinse the salt off before we cook it. You need to rinse that salt off first. Because that fish has been salted, it's been sitting for about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to deep fry it in a sort of tempura batter. It is starting to get quite cold though, so I'm a wee bit concerned about how hot this oil is going to get. I think we'll do it over the fire because it's a wee bit hotter on the fire than these little stoves, so we'll give that a go. So, bit of flour. I'm going to spice it up a bit with a bit of Cajun seasoning. So a bit of Cajun in there. Bit of salt. And we'll give that, combine that up. And then the trick, I believe, I've been told, it's freezing cold. It is freezing cold. Soda water. We shall see. A little bit at a time. You want it quite thin, don't want a thick batter, you want a thin, light batter.
That's thin.
Yeah, we want it thin. We can thicken up if it doesn't work. We can thicken it up, but I reckon that's good. Let's heat some oil up. Hopefully, I'll get the fish on. So we did think that heating this oil was going to be a challenge, and it's turned out that we were right. It's starting to get there, but we need it really hot because that fish is so thin that it cooks in seconds. We'll get there. So yeah, oil's on, batter's ready, fish is ready. We just need this oil to heat up, and we're good. Starving. Moment of truth. Oh.
Oh! Oh no!
I think the trick with this is you got to work fast.
I can see that oil going in fire.
It works.
Told you it'd work.
How light and crispy that batter is. Yes.
Happy with that?
Getting worried there for a wee bit. I didn't think that was going to get hot enough, but no, we're cooking, literally.
What can I say?
There we go.
Look how happy he is with that.
Frito misto de pesca.
Fried fish.
Fried fish. Look at that.
Don't drop it.
Well chuffed with that.
A thing of beauty. It's almost too good to eat.
No, it's not. Let's go.
I think this is a bit of pollock. Bon appetit, is it?
Bon appetit.
Well done. That is fantastic. Really slow there. It's warmer than you expect, isn't it?
That batter's just lovely. So light, perfect. The Cajun season is nice as well. Yeah, win, happy. I like that one.
The colours, look. I paid 20 quid in a restaurant on Christmas Eve for that, and I'll tell you it was half of that, and it wasn't as good. Well done, mate. Let's go and get it finished.
Well, no fish yet, but what a lovely spot. Look, it's really windy today. I think it's 20-mile-an-hour winds, but we've tucked in behind the trees here out of the wind, and it's lovely. When the sun's out, it's warm as well. A lot of rain coming in and going, but it's lovely. But just as well, because we've got a hell of a lot of these to sort out. An absolute ton of chanterelles. But also, now this is definitely the find of the day. We don't find many of these, and when you do, you know it's a good day. Gordon's told me to stress that you all know and remember that it was him that found these. Alright, so don't forget that. These are peribuns, Somerseps. They're not your sort of porcini, your typical sort of Boletus edulus, which has a sort of shiny cap. This has got more of a matte cap, and it comes out a little bit earlier in the year, so it's a Boletus reticulatus, I think it's called. And you can see that if you look really close, that sort of net-like reticulation on the stem, and it's white. That's how we know it's one of the edulous sort of family of mushrooms, and these, hands down, are the best mushrooms you can buy, find, beg, steal and borrow. They are amazing, absolutely amazing, and they look like they're in good condition. And when you get them quite small like this, they're dense. No, they're really heavy. When you get them small like this, they're usually bug-free, maggot-free. These ones look pretty good, so we'll get these cleaned up along with the chanterelles. But we've got loads more. This is probably the best haul in terms of variety that we've ever had. Tons of chanterelles. A couple of, I found one as well. Look, that's my basket. I found one as well, a little baby one. But down here we've got some charcoal burners, some of the Rushla family. That one's definitely a charcoal burner. That one I'm not too sure about.
Throw it away!
So that one goes, I'm afraid, but that's definitely a charcoal burner. Good condition one as well. We've got the beginnings of one of my favourite mushrooms. Now they don't look great, Nick, they're like a little bit maggot eaten, but that's a hedgehog. You can tell it's a hedgehog with the spikes underneath it.
Who found them?
Gordon found those ones as well. Honestly, he disappeared into this forest for about 3 hours. I thought he'd fallen off a cliff or something like that. It was off. But he did come back with a basket full of mushrooms, so all good. But yeah, hedgehogs, the first of this year's hedgehogs. Not the best condition, but they're alright. And then a couple of these as well. A bit slimy, but they always look a bit slimy. Babelites. Another one of the sort of porcini type family, another bolete. Clean them up and they'll look a little bit more presentable. What else have we got? We've got a couple of tawny grisettes. Lovely little delicate looking mushroom. These are from the Amanita family, which actually have some of the most deadly mushrooms in the country. But these ones positively, happily, confidently ID'd as a tawny grisette. What else have we got? I think, yeah, another bolete here. And these ones don't look very appetising because they bruise blue. When you cut them open, they'll go really dark blue when they oxidise, and it's quite blue around the stem. But you can just about see on the stem here, just where it's not bruised, red dots. So there's no reticulation on it at all, it's just dots. And that tells me it's probably a scarlatina bolete, which again, fantastic eating. Not one to eat though if you're not too sure about it. Because some of the poisonous boletes, I've probably said this before, have got red on the stipe and they sort of stain that bluey colour. So if you're not 100% sure it's a scarlatina, we would leave it. But I'm pretty happy about that one. I think that one looks pretty good. So we've got scarlatinas, we've got penny buns, we've got bays, we've got charcoal burners, hedgehogs, chanterelles and tawny grisettes. Pair that up with a little bit of wood pigeon, a little bit of rabbit, a little creamy sauce. Should see us through today, even if they're fish. Even if they don't turn up. It's not really going to plan on the fishing front anyway. A single dogfish, a sprained wrist, actually quite sore now. But all for good footage, it was worth it. I hope you thought so as well. He's still not got a mackerel, he's been chucking feathers left, right and centre. No mackerel, no spur dogs. Tide's got 2 hours left of the ebb. So hopefully once the tide turns that might kind of spur them into action. But it did give us a bit of time to be creative with our mushrooms. Now that there is a picture of late summer. Look at those. Cleaned up, trimmed, a couple of extra bits and pieces for fanciness. So I know I said it's not a mushroom video at the beginning of this video. Turns out it might be. It's the only thing that's went to plan today. Those penny buns look fantastic. They all look fantastic. Chanterelles look great. It was inevitable that was going to happen, wasn't it? As soon as we start getting dinner on, the rod buckles over. It was an unmissable, oh no wait, it was a missable bite, wasn't it?
Ah, good.
Right, foods. This isn't really a catch and cook, but this is quite cool. So we've got creamy pasta sauce with cream, mustard, smoky bacon, chanterelle mushrooms, some other bits and pieces mushrooms in there as well. But the main ingredient, slow cooked rabbit. Thanks to John, again, our game supplier. Becoming a regular game supplier. But we're going to jazz it up with a little bit more game. This stuff is just amazing. Lovely, dark, flavourful meat. That is wood pigeon. So we've got 4 wood pigeon breasts. And then we're going to jazz it up even more. This would cost an absolute fortune in the restaurant. But here we've got some rabbit loins in there as well. So backstraps, loins, whatever you want to call them. And a couple of fillets. So we've got a bit of linguine on. This is going to be the pasta sauce for the linguine. We're going to fry up a bit of wood pigeon, a bit of rabbit, a little bit of herbage. And that's lunch. Sounds very good. Now these take a minute on each side. So quick. Let them rest, nice and pink in the middle. These take even quicker. These are great. Then we'll eat. First mouthful. There it goes. Guarantee it. Watch this space. There we go. Not a bad lunch. Linguine, creamy linguine with mustard, slow cooked rabbit, forage mushrooms, smoky bacon, and some pan fried wood pigeon. That'll do, I suppose. There we go, we get a wee bit worried there for a while, but found one, and it's quite a nice one. So I've got special plans for him. And I'm going to get him right on the salt straight away, because there's a wee bit of care being given to him before we can eat him. But hopefully we'll get a couple more, but that's a good start, because we're starting to get worried there. Oh, it's a wee bit awkward to actually find a position here, but I'll ram myself in between this crack. We got one, eventually. We got one. It only took about an hour and a half. And hopefully we'll get a few more. It's a nice size one, so I'm going to do something a little bit different with this. We were thinking about getting the smoker out, and we've still got it there, and we've still got Gordon's trout. Hopefully we can get a few more and we can get them on the smoker, but this one is sashimi bound. Shiba Saba, I think, the Japanese sort of phrase for mackerel sashimi. But here we go. Got them filleted up. I mean, you literally don't get any fresher than that. 5 minutes out of the water, gutted, filleted. And like I said, they need a wee bit of preparation. So we're going to salt them. Going to salt them for an hour. So I'm going to put loads of salt in there. And what that'll do is it'll just help firm up the flesh a little bit. Help draw the moisture out. So he goes in there. He goes in there. And again, a ton of salt over the top of it. This will get rinsed off. The salt gets rinsed off afterwards. and it's just to get that moisture out of the fish. We'll leave that for half an hour, rinse the salt off, and then we'll lightly pickle it in some rice wine vinegar. And then slice it up, serve it with a wee bit of wasabi dressing, and some crunchy veg, some other bits and pieces that we picked up earlier on. Right, see if we can get another one. Still only one mackerel, but we don't have much time to waste with these guys. We need to get them prepped as soon as possible. So what I've done, like I said, you've seen, salted them for ideally up to an hour, but we're a wee bit short of time, so we went for 30 minutes. Then I've taken them out, rinsed all the sauce off, all the salt off, and kind of dried them. And then in here, mixed up 50-50 sugar and Japanese rice wine vinegar. And I'm just going to use one of these little Ziploc bags. They're quite handy. Going to put the thoughts in there. Pour the mix in. Seal it up. And just let it marinade in that. I'll go skin side, flesh side down, I think. I'll let that sit for, again, ideally, you could do overnight. I mean, I've read a few recipes that say do it for 24 hours, 12 hours, but we'll do it for probably an hour. And then we should, I've never done it before, but you should be able just to peel the skin off after it's marinated. Slice it up, we'll make it look pretty, make a little dressing. That'll be our starter done. And then we'll turn our attention to Gordon's sea trout mushrooms. Sea trout mushrooms. Well, this wee bit didn't exactly go to plan. We were expecting to come down, nice big bag of mackerel early, get everything prepped. Didn't work that way. So what we've been doing is we've been fishing as we've been trying to prepare the fish. We have got what we came for, which is the main thing. And when you put it all together, it's pretty spectacular. It's stunning. This is food at its best. So we started off the other day in the woods, foraging for our mushrooms. So we've got our chanterelles there. There's a few amethyst deceivers in amongst there as well. So that went well, that was great. And then before we came out today, we nipped round to the allotment. We got a few early season greens. So I think what we've got in here are, we've got some spinach, we've got some herbs in there, so we've got some basil, we've got some parsley, some Shiraz, mange two, like a purple mange two.
Mange two, Rodney.
We've got some radishes, some dill, and then we've got some nasturtium flowers, some calendula, some little pea flowers there as well. And we can make something pretty tasty with a lot of it. But we really needed one thing, and we ended up with two. We came for mackerel, we got them. We've got a few of them, or a couple of them, but they're crackers, absolutely stunning. So they're all prepped, as is Gordon's sea trout from earlier on this morning. And I think we're going to cook these ones up today. These are going home. Gordon's going to talk you through his secret smoking recipe. And this is all going to be smoked. So the mackerel's going to be smoked, the sea trout's going to be smoked. This here, however, that is the sashimi that I've been speaking about. It's been cured, it's been marinated, it's been skinned, and all we need to do is slice that up, and we'll add in a few sort of Asian sort of style, Japanese style ingredients, and that'll be our starter. So a sashimi, easy enough for me to say, a sashimi starter. And I think Japanese it's shibasakapa. I don't know, we'll put it down underneath.
Oh, aye.
Aye. Sashimi mackerel. So yeah, sashimi mackerel, we'll get these smoked up, and we've got the mushrooms as well, so we'll get them fried up and have them on a bit of toast, and maybe make a patty out of one of these. We'll see how it goes. But let's get the Shiba Saba.
The fish on.
That's a Shiba. Right, I'm stuck.
I'll not get as fancy as him, I'll just keep it simple, right? So, fire, metal tin as a smoker. Inside that, the last time, if you recall, in the sea trout catch and cook, we used oak shavings from the whiskey barrels from work. But I see a lot of American YouTube channels that do catch and cooks using this combination, and it's applewood smoking chips. So I'm going to give them a bash in the smoker this time round. The one thing I've had my eye on for years, watching, as I say, American YouTubers, one of the ones is Dar Sizzle Offshore, is this Old Bay seasoning. Now, I must confess, I didn't realise I bought the hot one. So Lindsay, do not touch, right? But it smells amazing. So one of them has been marinating, rubbed in it and all, ready to go. So we've just done the one. We split the 2 fillets into 3 sections. So we might have a spare fillet. If that tastes good, we might do another one. So I'm really looking forward to trying this. So once that fire gets down a bit, it's absolutely boiling sitting here. So I'm going to be quick. Old Bay seasoning and sea trout done with applewood smoking chips. Fingers crossed. That is boiling sitting there.
Well, dish number 1, starter. Shimi Saba with wasabi and soy vinaigrette. Bit of wasabi around there, some pickled ginger, some chilli, some dill, some parsley, some spring onions. I'm quite happy with that. That looks pretty good to me.
Can I get to taste it first?
Now, just let me cast your mind back. It was a while ago now, right? So you might not have seen this video. I believe it was the second video that we ever done on Angling 360. We were out on Your Marks, and I introduced Gordon to mackerel sashimi back then. Have a wee look at this, and we'll see if today's reaction's any better.
Look what he hands me, bloody chopsticks. So the last time, I've got it, I wasn't a fan. It was just straight out the water, straight onto the boat. It met the knife and I tasted it, and it wasn't that great. So we're going to go with a wee bit of pepper, a wee bit of horseradish, and a wee bit of a big bit of pickled ginger. Don't want that much, so we'll move that out of the road. A wee bit of wasabi. No pressure here. Trying to get it all in the one. That's the wasabi. Something nose. That pickled ginger makes it. The wasabi's going right up my nose, isn't it?
Too much wasabi.
I'm going to dip my chopstick in it. Look. I've got to admit. That pickled ginger. What's the grassy stuff?
Dill.
Dill. We've made catching mackerel look hard today. That's because it was hard, that's all didn't catch one. But folk go out and catch bin bags full of mackerel. Look what you can make. A few bits of homegrown produce there. And if anyone didn't pick up on the Only Fools and Horses joke, Monge 2, wasn't it? I never actually knew that's what that was until the day. Well done, mate. What about?
Aye. I finally got it back. I'm just having a bit on its own. That dressing's pretty good. That's sharp. Yeah, just like Gordon said, I mean, mackerel is such an overlooked. No, I heard somebody say on social media a couple of days ago that bait, that's all it's good for. There's so much you can do with it. Alright, this is a wee bit adventurous. Sashimi's not for everyone. I don't know why, because it's fantastic. What I will say though, just on a sort of safety aspect here, if you are going to try this at home, it's always recommended to freeze the fish first. Right, we have taken a wee risk here and we've willingly taken the risk.
Will you tell me?
I told them ages ago. Freezing the fish for a couple of days just limits the chance of any parasites. Now the fish is fresh, it's straight out of the water. The chances are quite slim, but you never know. So there is a risk. But yeah, freeze it first. Then go through the curing process, the salt, the vinegar. You can cure it for a bit longer than we did if you really want to, but when it's as fresh as this, you don't want to cure it for too long. That's a win. I like that. Right,
Get a smoker on
what's
it.
the main course?
So that's the fire pumped down, nice hot, red hot, white hot coals. We've soaked the apple chips in some water, and now we're going to try and fit this in. Do you want more mackerel in?
We'll probably do the trout first and then we'll do the mackerel afterwards. Because I think the mackerel will take a little bit shorter time.
Could you pass me the lid, please? Right at your toe. Right, now what we're going to do this time is time it. 10 to 4.
4 o'clock. Right, that we're ready.
You think? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Right, so that's just over 10 minutes. See how we're looking. Oh, it's hot, hot, hot. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Would you say that's ready?
Looks pretty good, doesn't
It looks absolutely fan-babby-dozy. Oh, gotta keep that smoking. You happy with that?
Yep, looks good.
Right. Where are we putting it? Apart from the obvious.
Leave it there just now.
Right. Think we should put more wood on? Right. So we just pop some more wood on there so we can get the mackerel and the toast done. So I'm going to try and get this fish out without destroying it. That's the Old Bay seasoning one. Oh. A bit fell off that. Don't worry, I'll get that. Look at that. Flaking apart. I just says to Alex here, I've got a mad wee happy buzz going on. I've just explosions of taste. See that? We were arguing with today we each slice earlier on before we cooked it up. As you can see, we've sacrificed one just to nibble on. It is so, I'm not just saying this, but that, I thought sea bass was the best tasting fish that I've ever caught, cooked and ate. I take that all back. See that? Tell you, even Gordon Ramsay would cream himself having a bit of that. I'm not joking, honestly. Look at just how it just flaking off, look. The smokiness on the outside, and honestly, yeah, no idea how good that is. Anyway, the mackerel's going in now. As Alex says there, if you're going to catch 2 mackerel today, but we had planned, then Alex caught the correct 2 fish. So look at that. The fish lid isn't too burning hot. Slide that over. You reckon maybe 7 minutes this time?
Let's stick with 10.
Stick with the 10. Right, so that's 18 minutes past. On we go. Right, can I get another bit of that sea trout? So good. And we'll do a wee fade here, but if you keep filming, Alex. It's not a bad beer. There are other beers available in Scotland. But cheers. I'll never pinch another bit, honest. So that's 10 minutes the mackerel's been on for. Again, you've seen this for the first time, same as us, and it is burning hot. Oh, gosh, smoke. Oh my God, smell that. on. It's firmly hot. Jesus. Yank.
Looks good. That'll be smokier.
A lot smokier, isn't it? Get them out and rest. Smoking duty is done. Now that looks amazing.
So, that's smoked fish. Well done, Gordon. That is fantastic. Timed perfectly, and it looks and tastes great. But what to do with it? That's the sort of the next step. I'm going to make a patty. I think I'll make a trout patty and a mackerel patty, and then we'll have some creamy mushrooms and a bit of toast, and we can sort of just mix and match between the patties and the creamy mushrooms. A bit of horseradish, maybe a wee bit of mustard in there somewhere, some garlic, some onions, something along those lines. So I think we'll do trout patty with horseradish, mackerel patty, but maybe with some chilli or something like that, so they're slightly different. So yeah, flake that up, bash up the bowl, add some creme fraiche, a little bit of horseradish, and then we'll serve it with beetroot, because I think smoked fish and beetroot just is a marriage made in heaven. That's fantastic. So aye, let's see how this goes. There we go. That is as simple as food comes. Patties are great. Mash up some fish, bit of creme fraiche, bit of flavourings in any way you want. This is horseradish and lemon with a bit of dill. This one's a little bit of mustard and chilli. This is mackerel. This is trout. Not tasted them yet. I'm sure they'll be pretty good though. So that leads us on to, we need to get some toast on the go. Gordon's put some wood on the fire. A lot of wood on the fire. Get some toast on there and we'll get the mushrooms on the go, and then we'll serve it all up together. Bit of mushrooms, bit of patty. We've got Gordon's Old Bay smoked trout there as well. We'll just flake that up and serve it with a bit of pickled beetroot, maybe a little bit of pickled red cabbage, or whatever else we've got kicking about. You still can't catch a mackerel. It's been at it for the last half hour. Nah, they're just not here. They're not here. But what we do have from the other day, our chanterelles, loads of them, and they've dried up quite nicely. I always think it's quite nice to dry these mushrooms off a little touch, just so they're not holding any excess water. But that's what's next. We're going to get them on. I'm going to cook them in a shitload of butter with a bit of garlic, add a little bit of cream, and then we're just going to serve it with a bit of toast, like I said. There you go. So that's those fricasseed, I think they call it, the posh word for it, fried. Take them off the heat. A little bit of cream, they're not too much here, just want to go a little touch like that. Just let it all mingle. Put a little bit of salt in there as well. And we're just going to let that sit while we get the toast on. And then if we need to, we can heat it up a little bit before we serve it up. But as with anything, a bit of greenery is needed. Look at that.
So Alex is hot as with 6 slices of toast. Flip it one way, do it the other way, then turn it inside out, something like that, I don't know. News to me, but we'll give it a go. I can see this ending in disaster. I tried to catch some mackerel, I just can't catch them. Don't know what's going on. But I'm looking forward to this main course. And then aiming time for the old football. Couple of beers. This is a guessing game, isn't it?
There you go, that toast is looking pretty spot on over an open fire. Perfectly cooked. Mushrooms are done. They go in here without spilling them all over the place. And there we have it. Foraged chanterelles, sea trout and mackerel patty, a wee side of some beetroot, some pickled cabbage, a bit of lemon, and some fancy flowers.
Well, Master Chef has done an absolute amazing job yet again. I did pitch in, but I'm dying to try this hot Old Bay rub smoked sea trout, so I'm going straight for that first. Because we nailed it. Oh aye. The old Yanks know what they're talking about. But we couldn't have picked a more uncomfortable place to do this. Oh, it's just kicked us here. Alex's chanterelles on toast. I've got to go. Bulk up doesn't help. Oh, yeah, a bit of mushrooms, okay. I was going to say I'll put subtitles up, but they don't understand us either. What else have I to try? What one's what?
That's the trout.
Right, and about the trout. Alex likes all his wee fancy shells for his dishes. For his presentation even. My lip bleeding.
Aye.
Amazing. Smoked mackerel patty. I'm going to put a camera in so I can get tore in.
Yeah, definitely something to consider next time. Ease of access to the food. I love these mushrooms. Simple. Fried up, bit of butter, bit of cream. Good bit of bread. Delicately done.
Try the Old Bay.
Oh, aye. I'll try a bit of that.
Get into a bit of that. Make sure you get a good bit with the seasoning on it.
Oh, there's a bit of a kick to that, isn't there?
It is, isn't it? I think it's amazing.
That's great. I love this. Let me try this. It's my patty again, really simple to make. Fresh, light, healthy. Tasty. Love it. Perfect.
So I know we were planning on a catch and cook, but it's now become a catch and cook stroke 22.
Catch and cook 22.
Catch and cook 22. That's my first ever meal cooking. I'm absolutely buzzing with that. Getting black.
What is it? It's a ling.
Are you lying?
It's a ling. Oh, this is a ling hotspot, isn't it? That one does count.
Yes, I'll do that one.
Fantastic.
What bait was that you put out?
That was a herring, believe it or not.
Oh, was that a herring, was
That was a
it?
herring, right. Let's deal with this guy. Right, I don't think this is going to be easy. We've kind of hidden in behind this little dike here, kind of wall. Well, it doesn't look overly safe, to be honest with you. It looks a bit crumbly. So hopefully we can get through this without ending up in the drink. But if we hide in behind here, we can get a fire going. We can keep everything out the wind, and hopefully it'll go to plan. But ling aplenty. My little one from today, as Gordon said in the last episode last week, ling, they just don't go back. They're coming from really deep water here, and their swim bladders go. So even though it is fairly small and we'd like to put it back, the best thing to do is just take it, and we'll make really good use of it. We're probably not going to use this one today because we came prepared. Obviously we were going to come prepared because the chances of us catching a ling today were slim. even though we managed it. So we came with Gordon's fish from last week. So what we've done is we've left some just as is with the skin on. I've skinned this one, and because we came prepared, it gave me a few hours today to get this on salt. So I've salted this fillet, just covered it in salt, stuck it in a bag and left it for about 6 hours. And that's made it really quite dry and tacky. And that's going to be smoked. All right, we've got a smoker in here. That's going to get smoked and that's going to go in the cullen skink. These two, battered, fish and chips. And we'll see who's, well, they're both going to be pretty good, aren't they? So that's the plan. What? Oh, excuse me. What are you laughing at?
See who's going to be the best.
See who's going to be the best. They're both going to be good, but mine's going to be better. But aye, that's the plan. Hopefully the weather plays ball. Let's get this in the smoker. Gordon can deal with his fish, getting battered or whatever, and we'll get some food on the go.
Look quite as extravagant as our Alex's, but chips, triple cooked, third stage will be done over the fire in the oil. Vinegar, salt and pepper, wee bit of paprika to flavour the flour before battering the fish. Or 2 fillets of ling from last week's ling, and some batter that I made last night. I made that. I have photographic proof. I bought the flour, I bought the beer, I bought the eggs, salt, pepper, blended it all up. Put it in the fridge overnight as Gordon Ramsay instructed. So aye, there we have it. Fish and chips coming your way soon.
Here we go, right. Smoker. The trusty smoker. We use it a lot. That's because I like smoked fish. Gordon loves smoked fish. You can't really beat smoked fish. So, some damp oak shavings in the bottom of that. A little bit of thyme. And then for this cullen skink, we don't really need much. One lovely fillet of ling, cured. It's been cured for 6 hours. And I think just because we want to try and get this as smoky as possible. Cullen skink is really, it's usually smoked haddock you use. So it's really quite salty and quite smoky. So I'm going to smoke it on a stove on a low heat, I think, rather than putting it on a fire. Fire just cooks it far too quickly, and we'll maybe just try and draw it out maybe over 30 minutes or so, maybe even 45 minutes, just to get that as smoky as possible. And the smoke should stick to the tackiness of the fish because it's been cured. Anyway, that's the plan. Let's see how this goes.
Stage 3 of these chips, and I'm not going to lie, I'm shitting myself because that oil is hot. It's not as if you can turn the heat down, and oak staves burn very, very hot. Oh shit, a wee bit of sand for Alex's chips there. Hope you don't mind, Alex. I'm going to throw that one away.
I'm going to do it here.
This could be
Pretty hot, careful.
this could be a legate job.
Nah, good.
come off. A wee bit at a time. Because that is bloody hot. No. And we'll just do them a wee bit at a time, Alex. Back on the fish and fish time has come, so aye, I'm honestly, that fire is sweating the arse off me. So I've got flour, paprika, salt, a wee crack of pepper, not a lot, purely because that's a shit grinder. Just mix that in. This is one of Mr. Ramsay's recipes. If Alex doesn't like it, you can blame him. Now, 24 hours before Mr. Ramsay says. Nice batter. Beer batter. So, I've only done a practice in this once, so take your fillet of fish, give it a good soaking douse of flour, and this is so that the batter sticks to your fish. Anyone that wants to complain about hygiene, me and Alex don't care, brutally honest with you. Your stomachs can handle it. There we go. So what I'll do is, before I burn my leg off, I'll quickly put this first one in. So I really have brought a thicker paper down this part. And then quickly do the same with this one. Want to get them ready at the same time.
No, they're really actually really good.
Okay, quite well I think. I think we've got that batter bang on there for the fish. Do that up with all my set with the chips, but so as I was saying with the chips, I think they went in too hot, but with the fish, thankfully I've got it bang on. You don't want your batter to get burnt before the fish has had a chance to cook. Don't want to do that. I would say the one on the left's looking pretty good in it. So hard to turn them in these wee pots without throwing oil everywhere. Right, we'll get that left one out. Sure, you'll even agree, Alex. That looks like dog's diddlies. I don't know about you, I think that looks Fan Baby I'm quite chuffed with that. Over an open fire. Fan Baby I would say. So we'll just let them cool down a touch. Let that air get in amongst it all and crisp it all up. That's looking damn fine tasty, Alex, isn't it? You got it right, you're surprised, didn't you?
Good, good.
Right, get these chips hit up. Turned out not too bad. Chips, aye, maybe a wee bit in the darker side, but hey. Tastes alright to me. We've got a wee bit of lemon on the fish, I think. Prefer a bit, Alex?
No,
Just get them in the finals. You brush up your filling. That's dynamite.
looks alright, doesn't it? Let me try a bit of this. Like extra lemon.
Fish is a lot tougher than cod, isn't it?
It's so meaty, isn't it? Proper meaty.
How's the batter? Get a bit of the batter.
The fish is fantastic, isn't it?
You better not be bullshitting me.
No, that's a proper fish and chips. That's great.
Listen to that crunch.
How do I follow that? That was honestly one of the nicest fish and chips I've had in a wee while. Ling, my new favourite fish, I think. But aye, how do you follow that? Well, this is how you follow that. Cullen skink. Cullen skink you might not be familiar with. Cullen is a place in Moray, northeast Scotland. And skink, I think, means soup. Well, it's like a Germanic sort of deduction of soup. But I'm going to make it a little bit different. I'm going to kind of make it a little bit more just a little bit more. Right. Bit of a Spanish influence. So we're going to add stuff that normally you wouldn't get in Cullen skink. Your traditional Cullen skink is potatoes, onions, milk, done. Alright, so we've got potatoes and onions, they're definitely going in, but we're going to add a little bit of chorizo, some herbs, and some garlic, and probably a splash of white wine in there as well, so a little bit more sort of Mediterranean style Cullen skink. But that is the plan. So what we've got down here is the one fillet of ling that we did smoke, and that's just going to go into a pan of milk. So I want that smokiness to infuse in the milk. And I'm just going to put that over a really low heat. I'll probably just use the stove for that, really low, and just let that infuse with all the flavours. Probably throw in a little bit of thyme as well. While that's doing that, I'm going to dice and slice all this lot, get that on in a pan, splash of white wine, and then we'll combine it all together. And that's it. It's as simple as that. It's the easiest, the simplest thing to make. I hope. Let's give this a go. So we've got that garlic, some onions, chorizo, and the potatoes, and you know what, it's all going in. It's all going in together. Nothing fancy here, just a lot of it. I'll try to keep the pan off the majority of the heat. I don't want this to burn too much. I don't want it to burn at all. Just slide it in a little bit. Brown it gently, and then we'll add a splash of white wine, a bit of cream, and then we'll add the fish and the milk all together, and that's it, done. Easy as that. So Cullen skink, very similar to like a chowder, like an American chowder, a French bisque. All the same stuff really, isn't it? Creamy soup with fish. So while that's going gently, this has been sort of simmering in the milk in the time, and I'm hoping it gives the same smoky effect as a smoked haddock, but we shall see. Right then, just before that starts to stick, which it's starting to do now, a little splash of wine, Marlborough, Sauvignon Blanc of course. Not too much, but I'll just take all the sticky bits off the bottom of the pan. Let that cook down, let it evaporate. We don't really want too much wine in the sauce. Then we'll stick a bit of cream in there, add the fish, and it's done. Easy as that.
Did everybody else burst out laughing there when he's giving it Sauvignon Blanc, obviously. I didn't have a clue that he was on of it. So I'm going to have to try it. I'm a whiskey man. Yeah, that does smell quite nice.
It's no mouthwash, just drink it.
No. Aye, actually, I'm not bullshitting you. That's, But you think I might find a wine I like.
See?
Seriously, I cannot stand wine, but that is
Who's
nice.
laughing? See, any Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc is good.
Sorry for taking the piss out here, but that is quite nice. And I better stop drinking that.
Right, that's pretty much that wine all evaporated. So quickly take that off the heat. And then we'll add a little bit of single cream. Just gives it a bit of a richness. And then to that, this is now relatively cool. I'm going to flake up that fish. That goes in. And so does the milk. Back on the heat, warm it through, and we're finished. Yeah, doesn't get any better than that. Bread, wine, and seafood. This is one of my favourite fish dishes. Let's get stuck in. Yeah, hearty as it comes. Now we've overdone the lemon, however. Pop that in here. Then the best bit. There you go, get stuck into that. Well, for you.
Right, let's get into a bit of this. Any good fish dish needs a good Sauvignon Blanc, apparently.
Classy.
That complements that just lovely. That's banging.